All right, you guys, this is a blooper early to start off the show. This is another episode of Freddie Facts. Speaking of the facts, but let's run the commercial, okay? Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening. Just like what it says at the bottom, not what Gene said, at the bottom, another episode of Freddie Facts, and I'm your host for the one and only Freddie here at the Sports Empire Network. Below me, I'm joined by the hardest working man here at the network, Coach Dante. What's going on, Coach?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
And at the bottom as well, we joined by I think he's making his debut on Freddie Facts. Chase, have you been on Freddie Facts before?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I have, because I've avoided Freddie Facts, because every time I watch you on the screen, Freddie, it gets my blood pressure going. So this is gonna be a debut. So, and I took my blood pressure medication. So I think we're going.
Hey, there you go, my brother, joined by Chase down there in Kansas City. Put out great content. The host of the Sunday Morning Drive here on the network. My brother Chase. They're making his debut on the network. My dude Steve. What's going on, Steve? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing? It's great to be here. Appreciate it.
Hey, Steve, let the folks know what you do. Let them know what you do in the media world and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I live in Michigan. If you couldn't tell, yeah, I'm watching the Pistons Summer League game right now. So if you see me look over, that's why. But I have a basketball website and recruiting service called All Eyes on You Hoops. Just the U, not actually YOU, just the letter U. So yeah, All Eyes on You Hoops, basketball website, recruiting service. So basketball is my main love and passion. Coach, scouted, camps, all that stuff. But obviously I love – thank you, Taylor. Obviously I love football and baseball and hockey as well, and some other sports in there. I played lacrosse in high school and all that stuff. So, but yeah, just happy to be here. Love sports, and you know, it's good, great. It's always great to talk sports. And Freddie Facts, we got some fun ones tonight. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yes, sir. So let's get right into it. Change of plans. We had another topic to start the show off with, but just like in the NBA world, there's always some type of breaking news. There's always some type of hot take. There's always something in the NBA. The NBA do not sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news out of San Antonio, Texas. The all-time great coach, in my opinion, the best coach in history. Yeah, Gene, unfortunately, our dude Bill is going through a storm, and it kind of hurts me that you just tuned on the show just for him. I mean, I understand Bill is great. I love Bill too, but it hurts my feeling it was just for him. But it is what it is. Greg Popovich just signed a 5-year extension. Let's not act like we don't know why. We all know why Greg Popovich signed a 5-year extension. There was people on this network, there was people all around the media world was speculating that man was ready to retire, that he was ready to hang it up, that there was no reason for him to coach anymore. But we all knew the moment that they got Greg Popovich down there in San Antonio, that they drafted, they had the number 1 pick. He was able to get Victor, the alien. I'm not going to call him by his last name because I don't want to butcher his name. But the moment that they got him, that he wasn't going anywhere. Steve, what is your reaction to Greg Popovich getting this 5-year extension?
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. I mean, he was about to. There was even 2-3 years ago talk about he was going to step away and at that time let Becky Harmon maybe step in. Obviously, she's went in a different direction since then, but there was talk of that. Because like you said, there's no reason for him to still be coaching. He doesn't have anything to prove, anything like that. But truthfully, this is, he was going to retire until they got the first pick. Absolutely, I absolutely agree with that message that we just got in. This is huge for one person and one person only. Not Greg Popovich because he's fine. He doesn't need anything. But it's huge for Victor because, yes, it's just one summer league game, so we're not going to overreact, obviously, because most of the guys that he was playing with are not going to be on NBA rosters, and most of the people he was playing against last night are not going to be on NBA rosters. But it's big for Victor because if anybody knows, I mean, obviously he went to the perfect organization as far as grooming foreign players. And I mean, you look at the success, people talk like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili were, lottery picks. They weren't, like that's just the Spurs being the Spurs. Right. And then obviously their history with the number 1 pick, when you have David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Victor. So you got huge shoes to fill. And I don't it's not going to happen. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I'll give him his credit. Nobody expected all that hype that he had for him to come in and right away do what he did was impressive, right? Victor's not going to come in and be 25, 15, and 6, right? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? But he's going to be a very good player over time, and he's in the right organization. And let's be honest, exactly. The Spurs probably, I didn't see what the I don't know if Freddie, if you saw it, what the money details were, but I'm assuming they're paying him a good amount of money to stay because they know how important he is. But I still 5 years is still a lot. So I still, if you gave me the over under, I'd still say he's lasting less than 5 years than staying for the full 5 years. But it's big for the Spurs and bigger for Victor, truthfully. Because Pop doesn't need Victor. Victor needs Pop. So,
hey, I hear what you're saying, Steve. I disagree. Well, I don't disagree, but I agree with you. I believe Victor gonna come in there this year and be an all-star. I believe that. Not just an all-star. I believe Greg Popovich is gonna have him be a superstar. I believe that this man's gonna have this brother right. I don't trust no other coach more than Greg Popovich. I just don't. I know that Pop has elevated himself. I know Pop that is, he makes he's made others better throughout his career. And the one thing about Pop is he's not going to just single out one dude. He's not going to just give one dude special treatment. He's going to treat the number 1 dude just like he is the number 15 dude at the end of the bench. And I'm not going to come over here and overreact on one game. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. I see there's people in the media, just regular fans in the world, just, oh, he's a bust. I'm not doing it. I'm not calling this dude a bust. He's number 1 for a reason. It's Summer League. It's Summer League, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure the kid was nervous as all get out. Chase, what's your reaction to Greg Popovich signing this 5-year extension?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like it was mentioned at the beginning of the show, arguably one of the best coaches in all of sports. The only thing that kind of like makes me scratch my head a little bit is I think Pop's 72, 74. So when he signed a 5-year deal. But I mean, you got a kid like Victor, you've got, the culture there in San Antonio. I think obviously Pop knows what he's doing, and that's why he elected to stick around.
All right, Coach.
Well, if you look at he don't just got Big Vic. He got many other players he developed. I mean, you look at the roster as a whole. Even though they are a good roster, but they got talent. I mean, Kelvin Johnson, who averaged 18 a game last year. Malachi Brennan, who you saw in the summer league yesterday, played last year, averaged double digits a game. So they also groomed Patty Mills, Manu Ginobili came through the organization as well. You had Jakob Hurtle. Remember Jakob Hurtle, Tiago Splitter, who's the assistant coach for the Houston Rockets over there. So it's many players, and it's many players that they don't get enough credit for, from grooming them and making them and turning them into something where they wasn't either undrafted or where they were drafted high. Julian Champagny, just signed a 2-way deal over there with them. So if it's anybody that's going to develop right, it's going to be Pop developing Victor. Victor has an opportunity to come in the league and average a 20 and 10, be a 20 and 10 guy right away. He do got to add a little muscle. He do got to add a little muscle. Once he add a little muscle, I think he'll be fine. He does have a consistent jump shot and take better shots, but I believe he would do that on down the road. So I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. Pop is going to have him in the right situation. The guy's has the ability to average 20 and 10 this year, and that will be enough to get him be an all-star in the first team all rookie team. And he's very good on defense. He's very good on the defensive side, even though he's given up a lot of size in his body, but he's got the length and he's long. By him being by that 8-foot wingspan being in the way, he's going to be able to affect a lot of shots at the rim. So I think his weight but I think his length makes up for his weight and his size inside. So I think he's going to be an all defensive player in the league.
But also, coach, can you guys coach, if French Fry can become an all-star, so can this kid.
He's going to be an all-star.
So if Rudy Gobert can become an all-star in today's game, it has no offensive game at all. Like Chase have more moves than Rudy Gobert. Chase will make Rudy go. If he was on a basketball court, he would eat Rudy Gobert up on the offensive side.
I got a mean crossover, my friend. I got a mean crossover.
Hey, that's just facts. That's facts. And if that man can become an all-star, why can't Victor? And he has an offensive game.
Well, all-star is different than all rookie or all pro or all, because all-star is just fans voting. Like, so he's going to be an all-star probably because the entire country of France is going to vote for him. So like, I have no doubt that he's going to be an all-star. Now, whether he will deserve it or not, that's remained to be seen. But yeah, he's going to be an all-star because people like he's been the number one pick in the draft for the last 14 months. So everybody knew he was going number one. So now he's got to deliver, and he's at 100% in the perfect situation, the right organization, the right spot. I'm not saying that it was fixed or anything, but it was probably fixed. But yeah, he's definitely in the right spot. And again, you're not going to overreact over one summer league game where, again, most of the guys that he was playing with are not going to make the roster. So him driving and then passing, that's now an assist instead of a turnover because a good player catches and finishes. So you don't overreact over, one game, even though that is the cool thing to do in today's 24/7 sports network talking head, shows. But everything's got to be the best performance or the worst performance or the greatest player or the great. Relax, breathe. It's okay. He'll be fine.
Hey,
he'll be fine.
And Adrian Wojnarowski just tweeted out that this deal is 5 years, that it can be up to more than $80 million.
There you go.
Greg Popovich is worth it.
There you go. Yeah.
Greg Popovich is worth it. There's not no other coach in the NBA. Well, there's only a few coaches in the NBA that I'm willing to give max dollars to, and he's one of them.
Absolutely.
Him, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra. I understand that. You know what?
That's probably it. Truthfully, that's probably
Gene's up here defending Rudy Gobert. I understand he's the defensive player of the year. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, Rudy Gobert, he do good for his position, but he's paid. He's overpaid. That's facts. For a guy to just catch lobs and block shots, he's overpaid. He has no offensive game, none at all, none, zero, zip. I'm just saying. Chase would eat him up. I believe Chase will get him in the post, and Chase will just bag him down. Gene, I believe.
Listen, man, you can't break these ankles if I ain't got none.
Hey, better yet, Gene.
I got cankles, my friend.
hey, Gene. Better yet, I believe you can break you can eat up Rudy Gobert. I just believe in that. This dude here. I mean, if he can get become an all-star, and if he can get the bag, so can Victor. I'm just saying. But if there's any coaches worth the money, Greg Popovich is number one. You have Steve Kerr. You have Eric Spoelstra. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that deserve the bag, in my opinion, and they're the few of them. Steve, what other coach do you believe deserve the bag?
Truthfully, that's my list. Those three. I mean, I really believe that, because after that, in the NBA, you have a lot of recycled, talent, a lot of same old, a lot of, I mean, look at what just happened, in Milwaukee, right? Like, you win a title and 2 years later you get fired, right? Like, I mean, it's because a lot, they feel it's just like that revolving door, for coaches. And because X and O wise, I mean, I've coached high school, I coached middle school, I coached AAU basketball, I have recruit service. Like, I could draw you up a set, I could do all that stuff, right? X and O wise, there's a million coaches out there that have 50 sets to score you a basket, right? Like, that's like 10% of coaching in basketball. The other 90% is dealing with everything else, dealing with egos, dealing with emotion, dealing with, highs and lows, especially in an 82-game season, especially with grown men who make more money than you. So it's more about like handling that than not like, oh, draw us a diagram to get us a open 3-pointer. Okay. 1 million coaches can do that. Literally 1 million. I could coach the Warriors and draw up a great set, sideline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds to get Steph Curry to open 3. 100%. I have tons, right? From coaching middle school, high school, and AAU. But it's how you deal with the egos, how you deal with the relationships, how you deal with everything else, especially for an 82-game season. So that's why I really do feel like if you're talking about giving them the bag, like giving them the big money, I really think it is those three that you mentioned. Though I am happy as a Pistons fan, I think Monty Williams is a hell of a coach, and I'm very, very happy.
Is he? Is he though?
I really do. I really think he is a great coach. He also helps our state.
I think he's a good coach.
Ethan is really, really good.
I think he's a good coach that he can help develop young players, which fits Detroit because you got a lot of young talent. But there's a reason why him and Jay Crowder didn't mesh right well. There's a reason why him and DeAndre Ayton couldn't get along. I'm just saying, if you're a coach, you got to try to mend some of these relationships.
You do.
And Monty Williams, that's not a good sign.
No, we'll see. Like you said, I think he's in the right situation in Detroit. They're a young team. I mean, watching their summer league team, like it's basically their entire team is still playing summer league minus Cade and, 2 other guys basically. Right. Like, so, I mean, they're a very young team, and I think I hope he's the right coach for the job, because it's been a long time since the Pistons have been relevant, but and we'll see. But yes, part of it is, like I said, I have a problem with this guy. 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 Well, eventually it's not all of them. It's you, right? So like eventually it's you. So Eton is a quitter. Yeah, that we'll we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what the Suns do this year, but
I just want to give a shout out to all the chat, people in the chat. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, Sports Empire Network. We appreciate all the hard work, the dedication that you guys put in. Our job is to provide you high quality content, and I believe that we've done a good job, and we just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Let's move to the next topic. Let's move to the meat of the debate today, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy, here comes that quality content he was talking about.
If you are the general manager of the New Orleans Pelicans and you have a guy, that is talented, that we like how we talk about Victor and Zion Williamson. Let's talk about him. How would you handle it? Is it time to move on from him? Or how would you handle it? Chase, if you was the general manager for the Pelicans, how would you handle the situation with Zion?
I mean, if I was the general manager, I'd keep him. I mean, he's 23 years old. He's had a little bit of an injury bug, but I mean, like, he's a damn good athlete. But he only played 29 games last year. And Gene would trade him with it for a ham sandwich, and that's some people's outlook on it, man. He can't stay healthy, and he hasn't lived up to the hype.
All right, Coach.
I give him a new direction. I'll probably trade him to give him a fresh start. Like I say, I think he's good. I think he's great on the court, but the problem is he have too many things going on in his life, and plus when he beats on the court, he always tends to get hurt. I'll probably trade Zion Williamson. I think it's time for a fresh start with him. And like I say, he's talented. I don't think he's a bust. I don't think he's a bust at all. He's just not being able to stay healthy. He's going down that road of a Blake Griffin road. You know how when Blake Griffin was on the court, he was actually pretty good. When he's hurt, he becomes ineffective. So I think if Zion can stay playing basketball, he's an elite presence. But the problem is you can't depend on him to be healthy. Plus, he got more on outside of the court. So I might have to I might give him a fresh start and move on from him. But you still got a good team. You still should have a good team without him. You got CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. You still got a capable and competitive enough team without Zion Williamson. So I'll probably trade him.
I'm going to tell you, Zion Williamson has the potential to be the face of the league. And let's just be honest. And ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to say, don't take it in the wrong way. When the LeBron James, the Steph Currys, the Kevin Durant's retire, can I ask you a question? Who will be the face of the league? I'm just saying. Who will be the face of the league? And I know we have Giannis. I know we have all these guys. But I'm talking about the NBA is an America's game. I'm talking about somebody that's not a foreigner. I'm talking about somebody that's here in America. Have you realized the last couple MVPs, they've been all foreigners? But we have a guy that is freaking athletic like Zion Williamson that should have the potential to be just as good as these other guys. But the problem is he's not on the court. He's out of shape. Hey, pal, I don't know about John Moran. Would he put down the guns? I mean, will he? I mean, this is an issue. And I'm not saying that, Gene. That's why I say don't take those comments the wrong way. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, hey, there's a problem. Zion can't. Zion can't. He's in New Orleans. I understand the food is good in New Orleans. It is. I've been there. But I mean, Zion, you got to lay it off. Leave that to guys like me and Chase. Let us stuff our mouth.
Heard that.
Yeah, let us do that for you. Let us do that for you. I mean, I'm just saying. If I'm the general manager, I'm not letting a guy like Zion go. I mean, he's too talented. You need to get a coach down there, which I believe in Willie Green that you do have a good coach. Somebody that you can hold accountable. Somebody that can hold him accountable. Somebody that can go to him and say, hey, man, either get yourself together or you go ahead and go home. Zion, there's no way that you've been in the league as long as you have, and we haven't seen you in big moments. Steve, if you was running the organization for the Pelicans, what would you do?
Okay, so what I'm about to say is going to sound like I'm trying to be funny and try to make a joke. I'm completely not. I'm dead serious. I would literally hire someone to follow him around to knock the fork out of his hand every time he's trying to eat. I would wrap him in bubble tape, and then I would continue to have my boy Jasper Bibbs, shout out to Jasper, keep training him so he can stay in shape. There was actually a Sports Illustrated article about the work that Jasper did on him to get him back in shape earlier before the last season. Because when he is playing, he has played well, right? Like, so you're not a bust if every time you play, you dominate. Like, not dominate's a loose word, but like he plays really, really well. Like, his numbers are outstanding, right? So you want him on the floor. You want to play through him. You want to build your team around him. But you also want to make sure. So maybe that's the first thing. If I'm the general manager of the Pelicans, you said, listen, how serious are you about basketball? Where is your head at? Where do you want to be? You've had a cult following around you since like your junior year of high school, right? Like, he had some highlight tapes come out, some crazy dunks, right? So he's been famous, if you will. You know, people have followed him for a while, right? So you want to, there's both sides, right? People want to see him succeed. And then the other half, yeah, we want to see him fail. So you say, see, I told you he wasn't good. I told you he was injury prone. I told you. Like, so you talk to him about that. Like, listen, what do you want your legacy to be? Chase, how old did you say was? What, 23, 24?
23.
23. He's 23 years old. All right. I'm 40. I haven't given up on myself yet. Let's not give up on a 23-year-old, right? Like he's 23 years old, and people are talking about like he's washed up in a flop. He's 23. Like, let the dude work, right? But let's put the right people around him. Eat healthy, train well, take care of your body, do what you got to do, and then play around him. Again, he's got other good players, Ingram, McCollum. Obviously. Like, the Pelicans are a playoff team with him, without question, in my opinion. So I 100% wouldn't trade him, but I would have a little conversation with him. And it takes the right coach, the right GM, the right owner, the right, all those things. Like, listen, Zion, we're all here for you. We all love you. We're all supporting you. We all want the best for you. We are all on your side. What can we do to help you? Like, we want to help you. What can we do? What do you need? This is our plan. This is our vision. You're a part of it. You're a part of it, right? Like, we want you. Let him know how important he is. Let him know how valuable you think he is, you know? Because 23-year-old, And he's gone through a lot of stuff the last couple of years. I mean, he had the blown out shoe at Duke. He had, a couple injuries now early in the NBA. But when he's played, he's been great. It's not like when he's played, he's, 6 points and 4 rebounds, right? Like, look at the numbers. When he plays really, really well. In a league that has gone away from the late 90s, early 2000s when we had the, Shaqs and Patrick Ewings and Duncans and, all these great centers. And it was, 78, 75, get post touches, pounded out. Now our 6'11" guys are picking pot threes, right? Like, it's a different game. But he's shown that still nobody yet that's in the NBA can stop him from scoring 25 in the paint. So let him do it. Keep him healthy and let him do it.
Coach, did I already tell you? Did you already touch on this topic?
Yeah, I did.
All right, let's. I can't wait no longer. I can't. Hold on, before I do that, I need to make sure we have all these guys in the comments. What I'm about to do. Who else? Who else? Oh, Tay. Let's add Tay to the conversation. Who else do we need to get on here, Coach? Who else do I need to get on here? We're talking about Philadelphia. Who else in the chat that's a Philadelphia fan? You got Key, you got Gene. Who else? I need to know. I need them on the show. I need them in the comments. You guys see me put out a reel today. I put one out early in today, and it's talking about brotherly love. See, on this panel, it's a lot of brotherly love on this panel. Like, I love Coach Dante. I love Chase. I love Steve. It's a lot of brotherly love. But we're going to talk about the city of brotherly love down there in Philadelphia. Do you guys remember a slogan back in the day called trust the process? Do you remember they was talking about you just got to trust the process? You remember that? Yeah, that's where they had Ben Simmons. They had Joel Embiid. I mean, they even had a guy named Markelle Fultz. They had a whole bunch of different guys on the team, and they just kept on telling us to trust the process. So I've been waiting for these last couple of years. I've been trusting the process, been waiting for the process to show up. Other than that, I just been, and let's be clear, every year since then, Joel Embiid's been the best player. He's been the MVP. But for dang near ever since they've been together, there's always something. They are the Dallas Cowboys in basketball. It's always something. No matter what, something will go wrong with them. Either it's James Harden, he'll be hot in the playoffs, then he go cold. Either it's Ben Simmons not want to dunk over Trae Young. I mean, it's just a lot of things that go wrong in the city of brotherly love. Let's just be honest. I mean, I can't get any. But you know what? One thing that they won't do, Coach, they won't never give the blame to Joel Embiid. It's always
they'll never do it. They'll never do it. They'll never do it.
And they always have a justification on why not. If you go to a Sixers fan and say, "Oh, Joel Embiid had a bad game today," oh, they'll say, "Oh, Maxey, he did this just because he didn't chew this flavor of bubble gum today. He played like dog crap." I mean, it's just facts. That's just facts. This is a team that's been dang near 50 years of irrelevance when it comes to winning championships. I'm just saying. But the question is it time?
Wait, is 83 50 years ago? Come on.
It's technically 40, but it feels
don't make me feel that old, Freddie. Come on now.
Hey, it's 40, but it feels like 50. It will be 50. The question is it time for Joel Embiid to request a trade? Now that there's reported that James Harden wants out. I mean, for some reason, I just find it crazy that an MVP player, if you that dude, there sure is a lot of people that want to leave you. I'm just saying. Chase, I don't see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I just want to leave Patrick Mahomes. I gotta leave Patrick Mahomes." I don't hear people saying that.
Don't make that comparison, Freddie. That's ridiculous.
I'm just Chase. What I'm saying is,
I get what you're saying, but it was a bad, it was a horrible analogy, my friend. Horrible.
Hey, I'm
And
just
Tariq,
saying.
and Tariq Hill did it. We see how that worked out for him.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm just saying. Coach, I mean, I didn't see people say they want to leave Deshaun Watson.
Nope.
I'm just saying.
He didn't leave. Bill O'Brien traded him, but they didn't want to leave him though. They didn't want to leave him.
They wanted to hold on to him so bad. They said, you know what? We're gonna give you some extra masseuse. I'm just saying. I had to say it. This is Freddie Facts, y'all. I just had to say that. But there's a problem in the city of brotherly love. There's a problem. And I mean, if I'm Joel Embiid, I'm begging. I'm crying. I'm not showing up to training camp. Get me up out of there. Get me up out of there. He need to be as quick up out of there, just like how Gene was quick up off this show. I'm just saying, when I mentioned brotherly love, he already knew what was up. Coach Dante, do you disagree with anything that I'm saying? What is your reaction?
I've been ever since the NBA Finals. I've been on Joel Embiid helmet ever since then. Ever since they lost that Sixers to the Boston, and one thing that ticked me off is always an excuse that Joel Embiid made. What if it was his teammates? You know, the first thing he did, he blamed his teammates, and that ain't the only time he blamed his teammates. He blamed them every year he lost. And then you hear the narrative about, oh, he didn't have the roster around him. But what happened to the year that Kawhi Leonard hit the shot? He had Jimmy Butler around him, and he had Ben Simmons, who was an all-star around him. He had it good enough. That team was good enough. He had Tobias Harris, and you know what he decided to do though? He was the problem. He averaged 17 points a game in that series. He averaged 17 in that series.
I need to stop you, but Philadelphia fans will swear on their life that they have a Tobias Harris problem. It ain't my fault that you paid him that much of money, but hey, at least he's giving you something.
Yep. I mean, but at the end of the day, he averaged 17 points per game in that series, but nobody mentioned that. Nobody mentioned the front office letting Jimmy Butler walk. Nobody ever they mentioned. I know they mention that all the time, but Joel Embiid didn't step up even when Jimmy Butler was playing. He decided to average 17 points a game in that series, but that wasn't heard about in the Atlanta series. Oh, it was all on Ben Simmons because he passed up an open layup, and rightfully so. But nobody mentioned he had 2 games with 8 turnovers in that series, and plus the game 6. Nobody mentioned this. He went 8 for 24 with 8 turnovers in the game 6. Nobody mentioned that. And then that game 7, he had 8 games. He had 8 turnovers in that game. So he had back-to-back games with 8 turnovers in that game, but nobody really mentioned that. Now, you break it back. You come on back to this year. Nobody mentioned the game 1 James Harden had. That's forgot about. The game 1 that James Harden had. The game 4, you remember that game 4 with Joel Embiid when PJ Tucker was cussing out Joel Embiid? Nobody mentioned the game 4 with James Harden won that game 4. Nobody really mentioned that. Yes, James Harden played really good in that series. Played bad, terrible in that series. He was awful in game 7. But also, what was Joel Embiid in that game 7? Joel Embiid looked like a deer in the headlight too. So all of a sudden, you wanted Ben Simmons up out of there. He wasn't out this year. What was the problem? Brett Brown, you wanted him up out of there. He wasn't out this year. What's the problem? Oh, you got Doc. James Harden got Doc Rivers up out of there. But now you got Nick Nurse. So after this year, if they
Nurse, you gonna need a doctor.
After this year, what's gonna be the problem? Is Nick Nurse gonna be the problem? What's gonna be the problem? Because at the end of the day, I think Philly running out. Philly running out of excuses, and Joel Embiid is gonna want up out of there this year. James Harden is already frustrated. He already wants to get traded, wants to get out. They don't do a very good job of developing players either. I got to put that out there because they had Matisse Thybulle. He went on the left and decided to shoot 38% from the 3-point line in Portland. They had Isaiah Joe too. You know what he became in OKC? One of the best 3-point shooters in the game. That's what he became in OKC. And all of a sudden they lost Paul Reed, who was really good behind Joel Embiid. They may lose him. They may lose him to Utah. So it's a lot of problems with Philadelphia that a lot of Philadelphia fans ain't going to mention. But the first thing they try to do is make excuses for Joel Embiid. It's the coaching, the roster. When is it going to be the time that he's going to step up? When is going to be that time he's going to put his team on his back?
Hey, Paul, it must not be that much good because every chance he get to go to Vegas, apparently he's going to Vegas. Jay, I agree. He wanted to go there, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not blaming James Harden. I'm giving him the same treatment that people gave Jordan, people gave Kobe, people gave LeBron. If you the best player, if you that star, it's on your shoulders. Chase, what's your reaction? Should Joel Embiid want out?
I always tried to like look at two sides of the situation. So in Philadelphia, you've got Joel Embiid who's a superstar supposedly, but he can't take you to that next level. Now, there's other people on the court. Like this isn't a one-person team. Like I don't I always hate that, especially like with sports analysts, like what we do, talk about sports podcasts. The number one thing I hate is when we go, it's his fault. It's his fault. The number one guy, the quarterback, so-and-so lost to so-and-so. Their quarterbacks don't play against each other, y'all. Like quarterbacks play against defenses. So, and it's the same thing in basketball. LeBron couldn't take the Lakers there this year. So that discredits LeBron's greatness. And I hate that. So I'm trying to be fair here with Joel Embiid. You have the city of Philadelphia going, or other NBA fans going, Joel Embiid can't do it. Like he don't have the ability to strap Philadelphia onto his back and carry him. Nah, because there's other dudes on the field or on the court. On the other side of that, after all the opportunities that the 76ers have given Joel Embiid, and it's, we just talked about Zion Williams, and there's an excuse every single time. Maybe, like we talked about with Zion Williams, a fresh area, a fresh team, a new look might be something that he wants to look at. And if you're Philadelphia, regardless of how many times they've done it since Allen Iverson, it might be a time to, wash, rinse, and repeat.
I mean, how many times can they? All I heard, Chase, was trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. I mean, we're going to be on 80 years. I'm going to be 60 years old before the process has been trusted.
You said 50 earlier. Now you're saying 60. Steve already confirmed it hasn't been either one, my guy.
No.
Let's pump the brakes, Freddie.
It's been 40 years right now. 40. I'm saying I'll be 60 before the process has been trusted. And Jay said, so if Embiid wants out, where should he go? That's easy. I know a place where he should go. He should go. What you laughing at, Chase?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He should go to the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I know you thought I was gonna say something else. I
know. I thought you were gonna say something else.
Hold on.
I don't want Joel Embiid.
Hold on. What are the Mavericks going to give up to the 76ers? I just want to know. What are the Mavericks going to give to the 76ers to get Joel Embiid? I'm just curious.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, give him Mark Cuban. Hell, I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just saying the perfect fit, because you have two situations that I'm monitoring. You have Luka and you have Joel Embiid. One of the two, I believe both of them will be disgruntled if they have bad seasons this year. So in order to fix one situation, hey, Dallas, you love Luka. Philadelphia, you love Joel. Which one loves who more? You put them two together, you talking about one of the deadliest duos in basketball? Yeah. That will work. That you talking about one of the dead, like what, if you look at the Dallas Mavericks weakness
that thing that would work, because it makes Taylor it makes basketball sense, right? Like the reason why a lot of all-star, superstar pairings don't work is because they make zero basketball sense. There's only one ball. And 90, obviously in the NBA, you get ball stoppers, but most people, 90% of the time, you don't have the basketball. So it's what you do without the basketball. And to the Joel Embiid thing, and we kind of talked about it earlier, he's playing basketball in the wrong generation, because his game, and I know he tries to step out and shoot sometimes, but his game to dominate is not the NBA of 2023. Because, yeah, he'll get, 30, 32 and 12. in the regular season and then averaged 22 in the postseason.
Hold on, Steve. I don't mean to stop you. Key, how you know how the strip clubs is out there in Philadelphia? I'm just wondering. You said they stink out there. How do you know? You've been holding something back from us. I'm just saying.
Listen, as a connoisseur, if you will, on this subject, I'm gonna let y'all know that they all stink. You just have to barrel through it sometimes.
Hey, I will disagree with one thing, and I've been to actually very limited strip clubs. Very quickly, I know this is off topic, but now we're talking about it, so I gotta talk about it. The first strip club I ever went to was in Santa Barbara, California, the Spearmint Rhino in Santa Barbara, California. And let me tell you, it was amazing. And it ruined strip clubs for me for the rest of my life, because then I tried to go to a Detroit strip club after a Tigers game with one of my buddies for a bachelor party. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, so they don't all stink. There are some good ones if you go to the right place.
I'll tell you one thing. I think Steve, Chase, Jay, and Key have a new podcast coming out called Sports and Strip Clubs. You might be able to land a guest in James Harden on that podcast. I'm just saying, if you want NBA players,
he doesn't want to talk to me because I would throw so much shade at him. He would try to punch me. And
that's a beautiful. I'm glad you greenlit that, Freddie, because I've got the perfect name for it.
Oh, here we go.
There is no sex in the champagne room.
Yeah.
Back on subject. Let's go.
Yeah. That's enough.
But no, seriously though, I think just Harden getting out of the way will be fine for Embid. That's what he needs. And then, because then at least, because you're never going to win a championship with Harden, obviously, it's well documented. But you guys all have made good points. And I'm not a Philly fan, obviously. I was born in New Jersey, and I live in Michigan, so I'm a Giants fan and a Pistons and Wings and
Tigers. You're a who fan? Say it again. So, you're who?
I'm a Giants fan.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Yeah, show us.
Yeah. You see it? Wait, hold on. The Giants fan.
Beautiful.
Okay, there we go.
That's beautiful.
There we go. We got some Shake Barkley autographed jersey there. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not going to
want one of them.
I'm not going to say anything good about Philly anyway, ever. But at least if you get Harden out of the way and you surround Embid with some people that he might like,
that's the problem. They've been doing it ever since he's been there.
Right. So then eventually it might be him. And
it's not again, no might, it is.
Well, then there's different, and there's also different levels. Like, you don't think he's a bad player, right? He's just not the best player in the NBA. But he just won the MVP, which would say he's the best player in the NBA. But
no.
There's levels. Freddie, there's levels, right? Like,
all right, Steve. All right, let's go. I'm done. Let's go. Let's jump to the next topic. Top 10 NBA players in today's game. You made me go there. You talk about he's the best player in the game. I got it written down, by the way. I got it written down. And Steve, I'm going to let you have the floor because I believe you're going to say something blasphemy. I think you're going to say something crazy. You're going to make Chase, me, and Coach leave this panel. Your floor is yours, sir.
So you want the top 10 players in the NBA right now?
Top 10 players in the NBA right now.
Hey, this wasn't on the script.
He added it. He added it late, Chase. He added it late. Joker, Giannis, Embid, Tatum, Luka, Steph, KD,
y'all have a good night.
Butler.
Y'all have a good night.
Dame.
Yeah, who?
Dame.
Y'all have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. This is another great episode of Freddie Facts. What I just heard will hurt the reputation of the show. What I just heard will hurt the reputation of me, and I cannot be associated by what I just heard. After what I just heard, I cannot be represented by that. Now, repeat your top 5 picks one more time. I just want to make sure I heard
and
it right.
De'Ron Fox is on the cusp, truthfully. And I want D Booker to get there, but he's not quite there yet, but he's close.
I need to hear your top 5 list before.
No, that's not in order. That's just the 10. That's just the 10.
No. Oh, okay.
No, that's just the 10.
I want it
That's
in
the 10.
order.
Debate the 10.
I
No,
want it in order.
Tell me which one of those 10 is not on your 10. I don't care about the order. You can fight about the order all you want. Tell me which 10 is not on the 10.
Dame.
Okay. Who do you got instead?
I got Devin Booker.
Okay. I'm fine. See, I love D-Book. I've known Devin Booker since he was in 4th grade, so I'm fine with that. I'm good with that.
I'm gonna give my top 10.
Former Granville kid, used to play high school AAU basketball when he was young with Grand Rapids Storm. I love D-Book. I have no problem.
Steve, you saved yourself, sir. You saved yourself because when you said you didn't have that in order, I was.
No, that's not in order. That was just my 10.
Okay.
I didn't think hard enough to make it in order. I just wrote down 10 names. So I'm probably gonna change it when I hear yours. But I just wanted to hear who you got. I have no problem taking Dame off.
Mine's in order, by the way.
Okay, yours is in order. Okay, this is okay.
Number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Fear the deer, Giannis. Okay. I'm not falling in the. Hey, I love Jokic. I'm not falling for the hype. It's not hype, but I'm not falling for. Oh, he just won a championship. I'll make him the best player in the game.
I'm fine with that.
Number 2, I do have Jokic. Number 2.
Yep.
Best big man in basketball, by the way. Number 3, I have Joel Embiid.
Okay.
In the regular season,
we have the same top 3. Yeah, we're good.
In the regular season, he's dominant.
Yep.
Number 4, you got in order to be a king, you got to crown the king, King James. And it's blasphemy that you have Jason Tatum, give those guys above LeBron. By the way,
no, I was just telling 10 names. That wasn't in order, but King James right now is not number 4 overall right now.
But dude, I'm still averaging 30 points a game in the regular season, bro.
And they were the 7th seed.
Yeah, but okay.
They were 7th seed.
All right, Steve, buckle up. It's time to go on a ride to Uncle Freddie's ship now. I'm going to tell you, they was a 7th seed. You're absolutely right. Just imagine in year 20th, he had to go on a court with a bunch of guys, bunch of misfits.
That he put together. He brings everybody in that he wants, and then he blames them.
At the end of the day, the general manager has the last call.
No, he doesn't.
At the end of the day, Rob Pelinka has the last call. At the end of the day, even
LeBron has the last call. 100%.
No.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
there's a reason for that.
100%.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, Steve, he in year 20th, he goes in the league in a season with a bunch of misfits. He's teamed up with the guy Anthony Davis who can't stay healthy.
That he wanted to get there. Yeah,
which when he got him a championship. Which this year, this is probably the second most healthiest he's been since he's been in LA.
True.
He was with a guy Russell Westbrook who, oh my God, that could be a whole nother topic.
That he also wanted to get
how
there.
bad he was.
Go ahead.
But this guy LeBron, every single game was still showing how dominant he was. Still putting up 30 points. Still giving you 7-8 rebounds. Still giving you 7-8 assists a game.
Yeah.
But
it was absolutely. Listen, I don't like LeBron. Obviously, it was absolutely incredible what he still did in his year 20 season at 30. He's just younger than me, so he's 38, 39. Yeah, it's incredible. But right now, today, he's not number 4 of current NBA.
Let me
just
finish.
Isn't.
And see, with something that happened that people like you did not want to see when the Lakers made a trade to change the fate of the organization of the franchise that made the team where they went to the Western Conference Finals. And then Lord behold, y'all better be glad that LeBron got hurt, that his foot was not up to par. Because if that foot was healthy, no telling what would have happened. I'm just saying. But there's no way that LeBron is he's definitely top 5, and that's just facts. I mean, it is what it is. So I have LeBron number 4. Number 5, I have the greatest shooter of all time. I have the greatest shooter on God's green earth, and Steph Curry. I mean, we got to show that brother some love. I mean, he's to the point, just like LeBron. There's nothing that I believe that LeBron can do that will hurt his legacy. I don't believe. I don't believe there's anything that he can hurt his legacy. It's time to put Steph Curry in that conversation as well, where his career is pretty much set. So I got him number 5.
Real quick. We 100% agree on what you just said, Freddie. I'm a huge Steph fan. Obviously, I'm not a LeBron fan, but what you just said, I completely agree. Like that whole oh, this hurts his legacy. I don't think LeBron can do anything to hurt his legacy right now either. I completely agree with you. He can only better his case. And same thing with Steph. So I completely agree with that. So we're up to 6 now, right? Go ahead.
Hey, I don't care what nobody say about this brother. He's sensitive. He gets in his feelings. He's emotional. I understand that. But he's a 7-footer. Kevin bleeping Durant. We all know what this brother's about. When he's right, he scare folks. I mean, this dude is legit. I have him number 6. Number 7. I love me some Luka Doncic. I love what the Dallas Mavericks have. I love their superstar. I have him number 7. Number 8, I have Jason Tatum. We seen Jason Tatum. The moment that he came out the league, when the moment that he came out the draft, I believe that they went to the playoffs. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals right out the jump. Jason Tatum is one of the smoothest, one of the most fundamental players that we have in the game. Jason Tatum is a guy that, even though he's had some bad moments in the playoffs, that's why I got a number 8. But hey, Jason Tatum is legit. Number 9, I have Devin Booker. This is a guy before he was surrounded by other winning players. You talking about one of the best shooting guards in the game. You talking about one of the best scorers in the game. I hate when people call him the next thing of Kobe being Bryant. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But D-Book is legit. And actually, I've seen him improve since CP3 was there. I've seen that him have some point guard skill, add some point guard skills to his resume. And number 9, number 10. And it's hard. This one's hard. You got Ja Morant or you got SGA. Which one do you want to go? I'm gonna go SGA. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You talking about a guy that averaged 30 points a game? You talking about a guy that has made Oklahoma City relevant? You talking about a guy that nobody can stop? I'm going him over Ja Morant. I know that might not be the most popular take, but that's just facts.
No, I mean, I have him over than Ja too, but did you not watch Jimmy Butler in the playoffs?
That's the thing.
If you're saying right now, right?
Steve,
the best 10 players right now.
But Steve, that's the thing. If we're talking about playoffs, Jimmy Butler's top 5.
Right.
He's top
That's
5.
what I'm saying. Well, that was your question, wasn't it? The top 10 players of the NBA right now.
But in the regular season, but in the regular season, Jimmy Butler. But in the regular season, Jimmy Butler looks like a regular player. Like you didn't hear Jimmy Butler's name during the season this year.
No.
But when the playoffs came,
yeah.
Lord and behold, Coach Dante, who did we hear about?
Because big time players show up in big time moments.
And I will say this: that if you want to be fair, talk about right now, he did fade towards when he got to the finals. You didn't hear his name that much in the finals. Yeah. Just saying.
That's true.
All right, Coach. I'm gonna let Chase keep getting his list together. Coach, give me your top 10.
Me and your list down there similar. It's just either me and you got one spot, I got one spot below, and you got one spot over. So it's pretty much the same. It's just Giannis number 1, Joker number 2. You got Joel Embiid number 3. I got KD at number 3. I still think KD is a top 3 player in the NBA, but I do got Joel number 4. So you had him one spot up, I got him one spot down. I got Curry number 5, the same spot you got him at. You got Luka at number 7. I got Luka at number 6. I got Luka at number 6 right now. I got LeBron at number 7. I got
blasphemy.
I got Tatum at number 8. I got AD. I got AD at number 9, and I got
AD. Anthony Davis. Who?
Anthony Davis at number 9. At number 9, I got Anthony Davis at number 9 and Book at 10.
How?
Yeah. He was a big help. He was a big help at the second half of the regular season. He was a big help. He still averaged a double-double. He was a big help for the Lakers the second half of the other year. He stayed healthy.
Wait, so LeBron had another top 10 player and still was the 7th seed?
He's still.
You
went
just
to the West-
completely
that-
ruined any argument to make LeBron in the top 5.
Hey, Steve,
Right there. Like, I'm sorry.
Steve, do you know how hard it is to get to the Western Conference Finals? They did something that you didn't think was going to happen. They did something that you went home and you said your prayer every day. Oh, please don't let the Lakers do this. Oh, please don't let LeBron do this.
I definitely didn't
But
pray.
they went to the Western Conference
I definitely
Finals.
did not expect them to make the Western Conference Finals. No, but because they beat the Warriors, which I did not see coming. That's true. I was wrong. But,
How?
But you're ruining your own argument if you're trying to say that LeBron was top 5 in the NBA right now, but he had another top 10 player with him and still was the 7th seed in the West. Like, and then you're not even going to mention people who were the
I
second,
don't have
third,
AD in my
fourth,
top
fifth,
10.
sixth
I don't
seed?
know if I don't even know if I have AD in my top 15.
Well, no, I'm not Freddie. I'm just your argument that I mean, Coach started it by throwing AD in there. Like, I don't think anybody
He had a big
now.
second half of the regular
Like-
season. He also was a big help for them to get to the Western Conference Final. Anthony Davis is on the floor, healthy. He's a top 10 player in the league now. He's a top 10 player.
Ability wise, absolutely.
I think he's top 10 if he's healthy. If he's
Potential and what actually happens are two different things.
I love Anthony Davis, but listen, AD is just like a roller coaster. He's probably on the best roller coaster ride you ever find in your life. He go up so high, and he goes back down to the bottom. He go up so high, then back to the bottom. Chase, give us your top 10 because I thought I was going to show some love to Coach Dante. I was going to say, "Oh, I appreciate you, Coach." But when he mentioned LeBron being number 7, and then he went on to say, "I was going to let you pass on that one." Then he had the nerve, the audacity to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, AD is number 10." That was just crazy to me. Chase, give me a top 10.
So I didn't need time to compile a list. I already got my top 10. It's funny listening to y'all argue about it. Just because, like I said, my outlook on the sport is a little bit different. But if you want my top 10, number 10 is Joel Embiid. Then number 9 would be SGA.
Hold on, talking about you got hold on. You got Joel Embiid number 10?
Yeah.
1 second. I gotta get the right people in the chat real quick. 1 second. 1 second. They need to hear this. Please come in. Tap in now. Please.
Hey, on my first show, I just want to thank Dante and Chase for taking all the smoke off of me after my earlier list. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Chase, go. Start over.
Number 10, I have Joel Embiid. Y'all didn't have Joel on your top 10 at all, did you?
Yeah, I had him at number.
Yeah,
I had him at number 4 behind Kevin
3 or
Durant.
4. Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, I had him on my mind. You got him where? You got him number what?
I got him number 10. So
Can we make that a TikTok, please?
Little Chase for real too. He laughing too.
Number 9, I got SGA. Number 8, I've got Devin Booker.
Hold on, Chase. The person I wanted to hear this, he just actually tapped in. Please start over. I'm starting last time.
We're not doing that. Anyways, number 7, I got LeBron James. Number 6,
Got him in the same spot I got him in.
number 6, I got Kevin Durant.
Oh my God.
Number 5, I got Jason Tatum. Number 4, I got Steph Curry. Number 3, I got Luka. Number 2, I got Giannis, and then number 1, I got Joker.
So let me hear this straight. SGA, Luka, and whoever else is on your list is spots above Joel Embiid. But by the way, Gene, I see you watching. You thought my take was crazy? Chase just put Joel Embiid number 10 on the top 10 players in the NBA. He put him number 10.
Now, hold on.
I had
Hold
him
on.
number
Go ahead,
four on my
explain.
list.
I want to hear it. Go ahead,
Hold
explain.
on.
Let's explain it.
Now, listen, he, obviously being the highest scorer in the league, where like that is my opinion, like going into the season. Like now, if you say like who was the best players last year, obviously Joel's going to be a lot higher on that list. But going into next year, right now, that's my list. I want to clarify that.
Wait, so you're looking into your crystal ball, if you will, of
Yeah. I'm saying like today,
going to be
going into the
season.
Today, going into the season, not last year.
Okay.
Chase, I'm not gonna lie, brother. I needed a laugh. I needed some type of laughter. And you brought that to me, brother.
Listen, man. We gotta take the heat off of you somehow. If I didn't do that for you, Freddie, you realize that the credibility of this show is ruined. And as an admin of Sports Empire Network, the credibility of Sports Empire Network is ruined. So I got to take the heat off you.
Right, Chase, if that's what you want to call it, my brother, I just wanted to make sure that people need to hear that was in the comments.
Hold on, though. Could we can argue, like I said, we can argue whatever. But do we all semi-agree if we had to like come up with a Freddie Facts top 10, not in order, that Joker, Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, Luka, Steph, KD, LeBron, Book, and would it be SGA? Would that be our 10? Not in order. I'm just saying, would those be our 10? Like, are we in agreement that those are our 10 right now?
I don't got SGA on the list though. That's the only person I don't have on the list though. But everybody list, we would all have them.
You had AD.
You had AD. Yeah, you had AD.
I got AD.
You were smoking some of that good or doing something. I don't know, but like
Coach Dante had the drugs I normally do.
Potential-wise is amazing. I mean, I was at the Palace of Auburn Hills when Anthony Davis with the Pelicans set the Palace scoring record. And I was sitting in the second row and I was talking trash to him. And I was literally like, stop being so good. Like, I know how good he is. But if you're talking about to be that in that category of top 10 NBA players, you need to play like at least 70 of 82 games, maybe 65 in today's NBA. But, I mean.
All I got to say, he was healthy down the stretch and he was healthy when they got to the Western Conference Finals. So.
And apparently Chase can never visit Philadelphia.
Oh yeah. I got jumped by a bunch of people from Philadelphia when the Super Bowl was on. So I'll get to that. We'll go.
Well, during football season, all I wear is Giant stuff, so I get jumped by plenty of Philadelphia people. So
we'll get to that. Okay, I think I know where he's going. Let okay. This is a 2-answer question. What is your most fraudulent NFL team? And what is the most fraudulent NFL team? Chase, you go first on this one.
Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we start with NBA because we're on the subject of NBA. Mm-hmm. We pick our most fraudulent NBA teams, and then we transition to NFL because we got a couple of subjects, NFL subjects to talk about.
That's fine.
So we can do that. I'll start off my most fraudulent NBA teams. Okay. Now, when I was looking at doing this list, there was a lot of I'm trying to do different ones because I have a feeling I know where Freddie's going to go, and I have a feeling some of the popular answers that you guys would go. So I tried to go different answers, right? Mm-hmm. So this one might, they're not the most fraudulent, but in my mind, they can make this list. I'm going with the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks played super inconsistent at the beginning of the year last year. They scathed by the Cavaliers, yeah, but then they lost to the Miami Heat, the number 8 seed. I think that this team has needs to find out what their identity is, and they need to work on playing some defense. So like I said, I have a good idea where Freddie's going to go with his most fraudulent team, but
I don't think you do.
you don't?
Where I'm going with?
I thought you were going to go with the 76ers.
Nope. I'm gonna go with I only trust them like I'm gonna trust them this Thursday. The Clippers. Only time you could trust a Clipper is when you need a haircut. That's the only time you can trust a Clipper is when you need a haircut. This is the most fraudulent and most disgraceful franchise there is. I mean,
I also wanted to get the Knicks out because I knew Ty Owens wasn't here. Ty and I are huge Kansas City Chiefs fans, obviously with Ty living in Overland Park, Kansas, and me living in Kansas City, Missouri. And Ty and I are going to be doing a Kansas City Chiefs show on the Sports Empire Network once football season gets closer. So I know since Ty's not watching it, I wanted to pick the Knicks. And Julius Randle goes MIA sometimes, especially in the playoffs. So that's why I picked the Knicks. My bad, Freddie.
Like I was saying, the only time I trust the Clippers is when I need a haircut. They are the most fraudulent. They are the most disgraceful. They are the most trashiest team organization that I ever met. They are so fraudulent. Even though they have Jerry West working for them, they're still fraudulent. They still can't get it right. I mean, that's how bad they are. You talking about the last couple of years, they have had the best talent in basketball. You mean if you would have ever told me a team with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Marcus Morris, Pat Beverly, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Vincent Zubac, Eric Gordon, Russell Westbrook, guys like that went through that franchise, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, guys that have went through that franchise and they have still been irrelevant, that nobody cares about them. That is so bad that they're about to get an arena to get out of the Lakers' shadows. That is the most fraudulent franchise in the NBA. Like I said, you can only trust them when you get an edge up. Other than that, you can't trust them. All right, Steve, what's your most fraudulent NBA team?
You know, it's funny. I didn't even think about them because I agree with everything that you just said. Like, I don't even think of them as a threat because with all those players that you just mentioned, not only have they never won a championship or made the final, they've never made the Western Conference Finals. So, like, I don't even consider them.
They have made the Western Conference Finals. They made it once. They got beat by the Suns.
Did they?
Yeah, they got beat by the Suns.
Yeah, I thought they never made the Western Conference Finals. Okay. I stand corrected. Thank you, Coach. But my most fraudulent team, just to, stay consistent, because one of their top 10 players can't stay healthy, and the other one of their top 10 players is getting a year older. The Lakers are a lot closer to not making the playoffs than they are making the finals. So to think that they're just going to win 55, 60 games.
Right, I mean, damn it, bro. Like, what? Steve,
the Thunder got better. The Mavs got better. The Kings are better. The Nuggets are better. Like, if the Lakers make the playoffs this year, it will be an accomplishment. Like, they're not a championship caliber team. They're just not. Record it. Play it back in a few months. You're welcome. You'll hear it. They are
Steve,
closer to
I'm just
not
gonna let you know
making the
this, sir.
playoffs
Steve,
than
I'm
they
just
are
let
to
you,
making the finals.
Steve, I'm gonna tell you this, sir. If you ever try to lead the Sports Empire Network within the next 12 months, I will not let you. I will get a ticket. I will find you and say, no, you can't leave. Because all I'm gonna need is I need you to get on the show one more time.
Yeah.
And say you was wrong.
Yeah.
Do you realize that the Lakers just agency?
Yeah. And
they dominated. They dominated.
They almost didn't make the playoffs. They literally almost didn't make the playoffs.
Do you realize that
they were about to not make the playoffs?
Hold on, Steve. Hold
on. LeBron shut it down because they weren't going to make the playoffs. They got close to making the playoffs, so he miraculously was healed because he was fine the whole time.
You do realize,
and then they made the playoffs.
Steve,
and they made a nice run.
No, Steve, but you do realize
Again, they're closer to not making the playoffs.
Steve, you do realize
making
after the
the
trade deadline, the Lakers were one of the best teams in basketball.
No,
But they was one of the best teams in basketball.
they're
Yes,
not.
they were.
They're not.
Go look at the record.
They were.
No.
They were the best defense. They were the best defense in the NBA and the best team in basketball.
Go look at the record.
Again,
They were.
if you're talking about title contenders, they're the most fraudulent team in the NBA.
But no,
They're not a title
no, Steve, no.
They're not a title
Don't
contender
run
at
from my
all.
debate. Don't run from my debate. I said that the Lakers was the best team after the trade deadline. That's facts.
Okay. But you asked me who's the most fraudulent team in the NBA, and I'm telling you the Lakers because they're not.
Okay,
They're
let me ask
not
you
a
question.
they're not
Let
a
me ask you
title
question.
contender at all.
So you mentioned age. Okay. You mean tell me a team that's average of 27 years of age is a fraudulent team? You talking about a guy that's this arguably could be one of the best players in basketball of all time, and then you talking about a guy that Anthony Davis is one of the best two-way players in the game, and then you mixed it with a Gabe Vincent that just went on a run with the Miami Heat. Then you talking about Austin Reeves who they got on a steal. Then you brought in Rui.
Mhm.
Then you still have D'Angelo Russell.
Yep.
You got Cam Reddish, who's probably going to have a breakout year.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's gonna have. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Jackson Hayes.
We'll see.
Are you, my brother? You've been watching Summer League. How's Max Christie look down there? Oh, yeah, so you trying to tell me it's a fraudulent team? A team with young youth athletics led by two superstars?
That one who's 39 and the other one can't stay
Steve,
healthy.
I'm gonna give you a chance to redeem yourself right now. Please redeem yourself. Say that you take that back.
No,
I'm just saying.
No.
That's.
I know more about basketball than the three of you do combined, and they're not going to be a Western Conference Finals contender next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, his comments do not.
They might make the playoffs, but they're not going
Hold
to
on,
be.
now you're retracting your statement now.
No, well, you're saying
Yes.
if you're saying what the expectations are,
No,
well, they're
you
flawed
just
of what the
retracted
expectations are.
your statement. You said, "Oh, they'll be lucky to make a playoffs." You
Yeah,
just said
they
that.
will be. They'll be lucky to make the playoffs. They are closer to not making the playoffs than making the finals. Like this year when they were the seventh seed.
So
They were the seventh seed.
So you basically judging them.
You guys are talking like they were the 2
You
seed in the West.
basically
They
judging
were
them
the
because they were
seventh seed.
You basically judging them because they were 7th seed and they still made the Western Conference Finals, which told you they are in a championship contender range, even though they weren't supposed to be there.
No, they were lucky to make the playoffs.
That wasn't.
They were lucky to make the playoffs.
So let me ask you a question: Who in the West is better than him?
Who
You got
in the West is
Denver?
better?
Other than Denver, who's better than him in the West?
Who in the West is better than the Lakers?
Yes.
Other than Denver,
Other than Denver.
a team that's not named Denver.
The Suns, the Warriors, the Kings, hell, the Thunder.
You about to
I
make
mean,
me
you
have
can
an
go down
aneurysm
the
on
list.
this show.
Like,
You about to make me have an aneurysm on this show.
what the teams are better
You
than
about
them?
to make me have a heart attack on this show.
I
See,
can't wait.
I promise
cannot
people that I
I
will not be
cannot
on these
wait.
podcasts like I used to.
I cannot wait for the
But
season.
that is the most
Go.
craziest thing I ever heard of. The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, they're better than the Lakers. 100%. 100%. The Kings are better than the Lakers. The Kings were better than the Lakers last year. They're going to be way better than the Lakers this year.
They were better record wise than the Lakers. They weren't better than the Lakers last year. They didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yep. They were better than the Lakers. Yep.
This is the most blasphemy. This is the most this is the most craziest thing I've ever heard on Sports Empire Network. And I know I've said a lot of crazy stuff.
Can't wait.
But to try to say that, let me make sure I see you right. You said the Oklahoma City Thunder, who was lost in the play-in,
Yep.
who did not make any other move.
They
That-
lost
that
in the
big
play-in
move?
without their
No, hold on,
number
no.
2 overall pick the entire year.
Oh, yeah. So you mean to
They're
tell
better.
me
They're better than the Lakers. Yep.
So you said they lost the play-in tournament game, but just because they didn't have Chet Holmgren, you think he would have made a difference in the blowout game versus Minnesota?
No, I'm saying they wouldn't even have been in that position with him, is what I'm saying. They still made it without having him all year.
this is the most craziest thing. You're about to make me go to
Hey,
drink.
it's not even close to as crazy as Coach saying that Anthony Davis is still a top 10 player
No,
in the NBA.
you make that take sound normal.
Hey, it's not, to me, in my eyes, it ain't too ridiculous. He actually helped them get to the Western Conference Finals.
I'm stuck on you saying, brother, please, I want you to do me a favor. When this show is over, make a reel. Send it to me. Send it to Key. Send it to somebody saying, I believe the Oklahoma City Thunder is better than the Los Angeles Lakers. Because this is the most craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, I don't even know how to defend it.
Some people think that facts are crazy. It happens. I understand.
No, this isn't facts.
It's okay. It's all right.
This isn't even an opinion.
It's okay.
This is a joke. It's not even an opinion. This is a joke. I mean, I've never heard this before. I mean, I'm just okay. Continue. Who else is better than them other than the Nuggets, other than the Suns, other than Oklahoma City,
other than the Warriors,
Kings,
other than Oklahoma City?
Who else?
Other than, like, let's see, who else was in the Western Conference? But hell, you know what? You know who else is going to be better than them this year? The Mavs are going to be better than them this year. I mean, they're all going to be better than the Lakers this year. Like,
let me ask you a question, just to make Coach Dante happy. Do you have the Houston Rockets being better than him?
No, the Rockets are not going to be better.
I'm just saying. I mean, if we gonna go crazy, we might as well go all the way crazy.
Nope. No. See, that's stupid. There's a difference between smart and stupid. That's stupid. I'm just smart and speaking facts. You guys are just crazy LeBron sexuals. There's a difference.
So having the Lakers, having the Oklahoma City Thunder better than the Lakers, that's not crazy. You're right. No. It's not crazy. It's idiotic.
They made the play-in without their second overall pick in the draft, their first round pick last year, then just got another lottery pick this year. They've gotten better. They're still young, hungry, and good. SGA is going to become, which we've debated earlier, right on the brink, if he's not already there, a top 10 player in the NBA. And the Lakers got another year older.
Jordan. I respect him saying
in their two superstars. One is really old, and eventually Mother Nature is going to catch up with them. And the other one can't stay healthy for more than 45 to 50 games. And if they make the playoffs, they're a factor. They're a factor if the Lakers make the playoffs, because if you have LeBron and AD, you at least have a chance if they're both playing. But eventually their luck's going to run out and they're going to fade.
I want to say this. Hold on. I want to say this. Jordan, I'm okay with him saying the Mavericks because they got stars. They got two of them.
Yep.
Okay. But for him to say the Oklahoma City Thunder, brother, are you trying to be a sports media? This sounds like a comedy joke right now. Let's say the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be better.
Just for fun.
Than the Lakers.
Just for fun. What seed do you think the Lakers are going to be this year?
They'll be a top 4 seed.
Top 4?
Top 4.
Coach, you agree?
When healthy, I think they're top 5. When healthy. If
top 4 or 5? Top 4 or 5? Chase, top 4 or 5?
When healthy.
Top 4 or 5?
I would say 6-4, yeah.
6-4?
I mean, like 4, like in between 4 and 6 is what I mean.
In between 4 and 6.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, bro, the Warriors.
They will be lower. They will be lower than the 4 seed.
Let me educate
They'll be lower than the 4 seed.
Let me teach you something. The Warriors still have a problem. You know what their problem was last year? They lacking size.
Mm-hmm.
They're still small. Darius size. He's still small. He's still gonna get ate up.
No, I'm worried. I'm actually worried about the Warriors a lot.
The Sacramento Kings, they play no defense.
Yep.
They can score with all of them. But when it's time to make a stop on D, they still can't do that.
Right, which in the regular season doesn't matter, which actually doesn't
care
about what seed they are, because the Kings are going to be the Kings are going to be a higher seed than the Lakers, just like they were this year. So, yeah.
Hey, I got a question, Fred. I got a question. So you said the Oklahoma City Thunder is better than the Lakers. They're going to be better this year, right?
Yeah.
What seed are the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be then? Since you said they're better than the Lakers, they're going to be better this year.
I think they'll be probably somewhere in the. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder have a good chance. Obviously, barring injury, we don't know about injuries, but if everybody stays healthy, I think they have a good chance to be in the 5-6 range. I really do.
You said
okay. Yeah, I think Oklahoma City has a good chance to be in the 5-6 range.
Mo, you telling me to relax? Mo, do you agree that the Oklahoma City Thunder will be better than Lakers this year? That's why I'm going crazy right now. I really can't believe what I just heard. I just need you to answer that, Mo.
Wait, we're moving on to football, right, Freddie?
And like I said, I don't like the Lakers. I hate them, but you got real is real. I got to be real with that part. Lakers went healthy at least a 4 or 5 seed when they healthy.
Yeah, 4 or 5 seeds. Yeah, so I will say they will be worse than the 4 or 5. They'll be worse than the 5 seed. They'll be worse than the 5 seed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to be 18-62 or anything. I'm just saying they're going to be worse than the 4 or 5 seed. They're not going to be a top 3 or 4 seed like Freddie just said.
Hey, you guys. I just had an emergency pop up. Coach, can you finish the show? I'm so sorry about this, you guys.
Yeah, I got you. Let me see. Get the rest of the topics up here right quick.
Oh, Freddie's serious. Oh, my bad. I was waiting for Freddie to come back. I was like, I thought he was joking. I thought the emergency.
All right. So I got the rest of the top. So
you thought it was because of what I just said.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, can we move on?
Yeah. So okay. So can can Dak Prescott lead the Cowboys to a championship?
So, Coach, before we do that. Because the most fraudulent team,
NFL team. Yeah.
I was gonna say, look,
okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
So, again, my thing on doing this was, to pick one that I knew everybody wasn't going to pick. So, with that being said. Because I know somebody was probably going to say the Dallas Cowboys, to get a rise out of people. I also figured that somebody would probably say, the New York Giants, which I wouldn't blink too much at, because that would have got a rise out of Freddie. But I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have done, again, my philosophy on it is there is not one person that carries an entire team of 53 or 52 other guys and 10 other guys on the field. So Buffalo has tried to do everything they can to build pieces and weapons around Josh Allen, and they have failed to do so. And then now they won free agency last year. And how did that work out for them? It just seems like I don't believe in curses, because obviously there's different management involved, different coaching involved than there was 30, 35 years ago. But it just feels like Buffalo cannot do anything to get past the divisional championship or the conference championship. And here we are again, and we're looking at it, and Josh Allen is still considered, a top 5 quarterback, and we're still talking about the Buffalo Bills possibly making it to the AFC Championship again, and I don't see it. So,
all right, Steve, go ahead.
I'm going to stay in the division. I think the Jets. Because you get Aaron Rodgers not to win 8 games or 9 games or to win the division, obviously you got Aaron Rodgers to be a Super Bowl contender. I don't think it's going to happen, because unlike what Chase just said, I think the Bills are still a threat. Like, again, maybe they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're still going to win the division. And I've heard a lot of people on shows and podcasts and other things, obviously listening, talking, hearing about sports, talking about how the Jets and the Dolphins are the two favorites in the division. Like we just forgot that the Bills exist. And again, I'm not disagreeing with Chase. I don't think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to win the division. So if you're talking about what people are saying and what expectations are, I don't think the Jets are going to, make the AFC Championship game and win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl or anything like that. So with that as my, level, I think they are. I think they are the most fraudulent, because Aaron Rodgers gets there and you're like, well, they had a great defense. They just needed a quarterback. So Aaron Rodgers is going to go there and then poof, the Jets are going to be, 14-3 and win the Super Bowl. I don't think so.
All right, so I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with them. I don't think they're a threat at all. I think if they do make the playoffs, they lose the wild card round, and they still got the same type of talent they had last year. Outside of the only thing they kind of did is they got rid of Dalvin Cook. He's still undecided where he wants to go. They switched Alexander Madison at the running back position. They got rid of Adam Thielen, which is he went to the pan. He left and went to free agency. Now they got a younger Jordan Addison. Now still pretty much the same team. They got a cornerback in Byron Murphy, who's really solid, from Arizona. But I still think they're going to be the same team as they've been last year. They probably can win. They're going to win the division. I think they're still a playoff team anyway it goes. But I still think they a type of team that will lose that first round matchup. They played in how many? They won 8 close games last year. They won every game by damn near a point, which is a game that they should not have won. That close games.
They had like 9 1-possession games and won all of them, which is insane, right? And actually you saw it. And I'm sorry, I'm a Giants fan, so I'm going to bring it up. The Giants played them in the regular season.
Yeah.
And lost on a 62-yard field goal, right? Mm-hmm. So then they have to go into Minnesota in the playoffs, and they have confidence that they can play with them. And what happened? The Giants, beat them in the playoffs. And I'm glad you said that, Coach, because I was wondering about that when you brought up the Vikings, because I'm like, I feel like there's 2 divisions of the NFC that I feel like is wide open, and that's the North, and then the South is because with Tampa now falling off and whatever, I feel like that's open, and then it's the North, with Rodgers leaving, and you literally have Jordan Love, Fields, Goff, and the Vikings. Somebody's got to win that division, and so that's why I'm glad you said that, because I was curious to see if you still thought that Minnesota would win the division, but then not do anything after it.
Yeah, so we do. I think this is if I'm not sure, this is the last topic. I believe it's Dak Prescott. Chase, I'm gonna start with you. Can the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl with Dak Prescott?
Absolutely, they can. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. The Philadelphia Eagles won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. And you're not going to tell me that Dak Prescott isn't as good of a quarterback or a better quarterback than those 2 individuals. Obviously the game's different, things have changed, etc. But you got my point. But to reverse the question, Coach, will the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott as QB? No. The Dallas Cowboys will not win a Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones is living and breathing and still going to the facilities on a day-to-day basis, involved in the football activities and whatnot. If America's team wants to win again, then Jerry Jones has to check himself out. Whether that's, no matter how you look at that situation, whether he completely retires, passes away, unfortunately, whatever the case may be, Jerry Jones has to leave the Dallas Cowboys in order for them to find success within
All
the
right,
next 50 years.
yes, sir. Steve.
You know, this is the great thing about sports, isn't it? Like, you can debate, you can have some fun. There's things that you don't there's things that you agree with and things that you don't agree with. You bicker, you have fun. But at the end of the day, everybody agrees on one thing. The Cowboys will not win another Super Bowl until Jerry Jones is no longer involved. Like, and obviously I'm a Giants fan, so I'm the wrong person to ask about this. But, the Cowboys are like a summer night in July. They peaked in the 90s. It's done. It's over. Like, and I don't want to wish, saying, until Jerry Jones dies. So I don't want to wish,
of course.
Death on anyone. He can still own the team. Just stop showing up. Let a football person handle football decisions, and maybe you'll be okay. But obviously, as a Giants fan, I'm happy. Keep doing it. Keep not winning, and we'll be happy. But yeah, Dak, definitely not the problem. Seems to be a good leader, a good quarterback. I've never met him, but he seems like a good enough dude. He's not the issue. So yeah, he could definitely win them a Super Bowl. He's not the problem. But yeah, until Jerry Jones is not hands-on in the organization, whether that means he sells the team, which he's not going to, whether it means he steps back, which he probably isn't going to. So that probably means he unfortunately has to pass away for it to happen. But it's not going to happen. Again, I mean, they were a great team. But what was their last Super Bowl? 94?
95?
95? Yeah, it was 94, 95. I mean, I don't have it in front of me. I'm just 94, 95. Like, so, and 94, 95, again, I already said I'm 40. 94, 95 was a lot longer ago than I want to admit, right? Like, that was a long time ago. Like, in my head, 94, 95 was like 10 years ago, but it wasn't. So,
Almost 30.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's not Dak. It's definitely Jerry. And they've had some chances because, like,
look at the teams that they've had in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Romo and who was their Marshawn or Barber.
Marion Barber.
Yeah,
Marion Barber.
Yeah. Those years were good for him. Miles Austin's bust out years.
And that's the thing, even T.O., even, the tight end. I mean, like, and I'm sorry. Jason Witten, thank you. Very good tight end. I mean, like, they've had
the defense they've had the
pieces. They've had the pieces, right? Like, and right now they have a very good defense with Parsons and all them. Like, so like they have CeeDee Lamb and like they have the pieces, right? Like, and they had Zeke and then now Tony Pollard and like they have the pieces. It's just everything else. And sometimes you just have to, get rid of everything else, right? And I don't want to bring up the comparison because I know I was just bad mouthing them earlier, but like the Lakers championship in the bubble, like you get rid of everything else. You're in this bubble. It's your team. It's you against the world. You're locked in, and you can do what you need to do, right? And they did. Maybe the Cowboys need to do something like that. Obviously Jerry has the money. Go buy some condo resort and close it off and make all the players stay there for the season and take away all their social media and all their phones and be like, hey, let's lock in and let's do this, right? Like, and obviously that's not going to happen, but I mean, maybe that's what it would take. Like, hey, you want to win? Let's all buy into what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But you got Jerry, so
Yep. So I'm just gonna give a really simple answer, and it's just gonna be no. I don't. They had enough pieces throughout the years. We all mentioned that one of the top tight ends, greatest tight ends in the in the league at that time, which was Jason Witten. Even when he was old, he was still pretty effective. They had one of the best offensive lines, even when DeMarco Murray was running through there. So other than that, I'm just going to give a simple how to just say no.
I'm laughing at Mo's comment, man. I'm making fun of Freddie. I was just getting ready to say, man, can we get somebody to change the thing? This ain't Freddie Facts anymore. This is Freddie got fingered.
Yes.
Dante's discussions.
Oh my goodness, man. So we had a great show, fellas. Shout out to everybody that supported us in the chat. Man. Thank you guys. So Chase, tell everybody they can hit you
real quick. I'm not going anywhere. I'll come back during the season. If I'm wrong, I'll own it. I'll come on. Everybody can tell me how stupid I am. It's fine. It's all good. So looking forward to being on a lot more shows. So
all right.
Thanks, guys.
Chase, tell everybody where they can hit you up at, man.
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, we want to appreciate everybody for supporting Sports Empire Network and supporting Freddie Facts, even though it was the absolute polar opposite of Facts. But that's what makes it so much fun. As a way of saying thank you for supporting us, we want to offer you a special deal from SeatGeek, SeatGeek.com. You can get you any type of tickets, concerts, sporting events, no matter what. If you're going to be crazy and go to a Taylor Swift concert, go ahead, and as a way of saying thank you, use the code SEN for Sports Empire Network to get you $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. We greatly appreciate it. You can find me here on the Sports Empire Network on Line in the Sand podcast. I like to consider myself Sports Empire Network's residential pro wrestling guru, concierge, if you will. Yes, Steve, I saw your shirt. That's cool.
Chase, can we have a show? Can we have a pro wrestling show?
We do have a pro wrestling show. It's on Tuesdays.
Oh, frick yeah.
Yep. But for anything else you guys might be interested in, my tag is CR Media 1988. That's on all forms of social media. Anything you can think of, except for the new stuff. I'm 35, guys. If you ask me to join one more new social media network, I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna start yelling at y'all like the old man used to yell at us about getting off his lawn. Don't ask me to join another social media platform. I swear, don't do it.
All right. Steve, tell the people they can hit you up at.
Yeah. You can hit me up on either my personal Twitter sman1720, where I usually just talk about CMU sports because I went to Central Michigan, or pro wrestling. Thank you for that beautiful lead-in, Chase. Or my basketball recruiting sports site, All Eyes on the letter U, Hoops on Twitter. And yeah, really looking forward to being on a whole bunch more shows here. I really appreciate it. And this was a lot of fun for Freddie's Not Facts. I appreciate it.
So yes, indeed. So like I said, y'all know y'all can find me at, and I ain't hard to find. So as for Coach Dante, as for Chase, and as for Steve, y'all have a good rest of your day, you guys. Peace out.